Hello and welcome to the 10th episode of the Teaching of Isaac. I've officially reached double digits. Will I reach triple digits? I don't know, we'll see. So I have random Lilith once again. I'm hoping to get some other characters. At least I got Azazel last time, and spoiler alert, barely survived. Here we go. Last time I was Lilith, I ended up re-rolling my items, so it was kind of an unusual run. Maybe this time I'll stick a little more to the way Lilith is actually supposed to be played. And that's generally with the box of friends. And Cambion Conception. I learned that if you re-roll your character's items, Cambion Conception is not something that's a part of Lilith. The Incubus is just my little dude that's flying around and shooting. But the Cambion Conception is not part of Lilith. Technically. Now that's nasty. I have nowhere to go. I'm at the mercy of where the little monstro bounces. And he was merciful, but I popped the box of friends just in case. Now take your time, don't get greedy. I kind of want to run over and just start plowing him with tears, but it's better just to wait. He'll give in eventually. On the first floor, I almost always... I had to hesitate for a second. I wanted to make sure I dodged that. On the first floor, I almost always make sure to destroy every poop and flame. If you have 5 coins, then on the next level you have a chance of an arcade spawning. So it only spawns when you have 5 coins and above. It also only appears on the second of each level. So in my case, that'll be Basement 2 or the Burning Basement 2. This is the Demon Baby. Normally, I'm not that much of a fan of the Demon Baby. The Demon Baby has to be in pretty close range in order to actually start attacking. However, with Lilith and her box of friends, it actually might not be so bad, since the box of friends allows me to double the amount of familiars I have. I was hoping one of these barrels could be pushed. That way I could go ahead and get the money here. But I'm going to have to wait and see if I get a bomb. So there goes the Demon Baby right there. Pretty alright early game, especially when there's a bunch of enemies in your face. But eventually, it doesn't become that helpful. Before proceeding on to the boss, I want to take a look at this room right here. So I knew that was going to come. I just wasn't sure when the enemy was going to blow up. And with the Demon Baby, I lost a little bit of control. I was kind of having to... Well, I couldn't just stop attacking, because even if I stopped to try to get some cover, Demon Baby continues to attack. So that was a double whammy, because not only does that enemy, when it dies, shoot tears in multiple directions, but then it blows up also, because it's a dark green champion. Larry Jr., so it's a boss. Best to pop box of friends during a boss. She makes short work of bosses in most cases, that's for sure. Might be a little bit more challenging when fighting the monsters, but bosses, they're definitely easier with Lilith than, I'd say probably half the characters at least. I do have one bomb, so I have a couple options. I could bomb this and get the coins, but I know there's no secret room here. For 2 reasons. One, the boss rooms would be attached to it, which is not how secret rooms form. And 2, there is a thin room next to it. Secret rooms can never be on the same side as the thin rooms. It could be where a door would appear, but there's never a door on the long side. That's not even worth it. I mean, there's no reason to check that. Now, the secret room could be anywhere. Just because of the way level 1's built, they kind of break the rules on how secret rooms work. I'm just going to get some money, and I'm going to move on. Almost forgot you. So I really want an arcade with Lilith. With Cambion Conception, the more damage you take, eventually you'll start spawning extra familiars that you permanently get. And with an arcade, I can utilize the blood donation machine and hurt myself and only lose regular hearts and still contribute towards the Cambion Conception. I'm going to wait before going in the curse room. Oh, it's another big room. I tend to use the box of friends in the larger rooms most of the time. Once the large room clears, usually you get 2 charges of your item as opposed to just 1. Plus big rooms are generally more challenging. The exception being the really tiny rooms that have tons of enemies. And you may notice all the colorful little monstros here. On hard difficulty, there's a much higher amount of champion enemies. Now, if you're just starting the Binding of Isaac, at some point you'll unlock something that makes the game just naturally harder. I forgot the exact name of the achievement. Something along the lines of everything sucks. Something like that. But either way, it makes all the enemies harder. Well, not all of them, but either way, it makes your gameplay experience harder and there's more champions overall. Oh, that's what it is. It's everything is harder is what it's called. Pretty sure. Forgot I even had a pill. Okay, I'm going to check this out. The rosary. Not my favorite item. The only thing I like about it is the fact that it gives you a little bit of a cushion, especially early game, because I do gain some soul hearts after all. But the downside of this item is that the Holy Bible gets thrown into all of the pools. So the treasure room pool. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ah. That was cruel. There was very little I could have done about that. And there's no way that I'm going to pop a mysterious pill. I don't even know what it does, because I could have gotten paralysis in that circumstance. Now, what I was trying to say before I got bombarded is that the Bible gets added to all the pools. This even means that if I go get a devil deal, the Bible might be sitting there potentially, and it'll cost me a heart just to buy it from the devil. If you happen to have all 12 heart containers, then just go ahead and skip the rosary. But besides that, it's still helpful for those extra 3 soul hearts. Okay, Box of Friends is ready. I'm still going to keep exploring in the event that I find an arcade. If I go kill the boss and a devil deal drops, or appears rather, and if I take it, then I'm going to lose a heart container. By doing that, that means less opportunities for me to use the blood donation machine. Even if there wasn't an arcade here, there's still a chance of getting a blood donation machine. Okay, so this is a pretty nasty room, so I'm just going to demonstrate how it works, the best way to deal with it. As I've said in most big rooms, keep circling. It gets kind of hairy, but as you're approaching the larger enemies, go ahead and attack them, and then if you have a little space between the stronger enemies, start attacking the horde that's following you. You kind of go circle. Once you reach a big guy, attack them, keep moving, go back to the little guys, and just rinse and repeat until the swarm is gone. And I thought I saw a tinted rock. I did. Okay. Totally worth it. Even got another bomb out of the deal. There's another. Okay. You gotta be quick, because the trap will push the rock. My point has been proven, and my punishment is not getting the tinted rock. This place is a little bit bigger than I expected. I've been saving the box of friends. I could have used one probably, and still had enough to use it again for the boss. But you gotta play it safe sometimes. If you know you can handle the room without using your activatable item, then go for it. You might reach a room where it gets crazy, and you'll wish that you had your box of friends. All right, I really wish I had the extra bomb. I also only have one key. I could go in the shop, however, I want to make sure I save at least one key when I go to the next floor. If you're unlucky with keys, then you could say goodbye to your treasure room. So you have to anticipate the worst case scenario. Hello, Pride. Just stay to the side. Don't go diagonally, otherwise you get hit by that. And as the troll bombs are coming, if they appear next to you, just go ahead and shoot them out of the way. Okay, I gotta go back for the black pill later on anyway. Well, you know what? Why don't I just go ahead and get it over with? I'm at the end anyway.
One makes you large.
That's just a cosmetic effect. No dice. When you enter a cursed room, you have to expect it's going to be something bad, and in turn you'll damage yourself. If you don't anticipate that, I mean, it's a matter of risk versus reward. Tears down. Speaking of risk versus reward, I just got a pretty nasty pill. Now my tear speed's even slower. But yeah, if you can't handle going through the cursed room, if you're like expecting or relying on a soul heart when you get in there, you're probably going to be disappointed. Okay, let's do this. Alright, it's Champion Monstro. They're pretty hard to deal with because they're not only smaller, which means they're harder to hit, but they are also obviously two of them. Good news is their health is split. So that means that when I kill one, I mean, it'll be quicker to kill one than it would a regular Monstro. Normally I recommend attacking the smaller monsters first, but Champion Monstro is pretty nasty, and obviously it doesn't take long to kill him, as you just saw. So I have a box of friends, and now I have just a box. This is actually a really great item to have with Lilith. The Child's Leash allows your familiars to have a little more control. This is especially helpful when you have a very long train of familiars. So if I were to drop this and move around, you see how as I'm moving, only two of them are really moving. I don't have much control over where the back familiars go. Child Leash completely changes that. Now I'll be able to corner better, curve my shots, move the familiars where I want. And this is especially useful if I get Little Brimstone, because he's going to be put in the back. It's going to be hard to aim with him normally, but with Child's Leash, I can just move a little bit and get him where I want. So that's a fantastic trinket for Lilith. They're still better, but I'm certainly not complaining. Forgot about the death card, but I didn't need it. I'll save it for here in case I get Krampus. Okay, so our options are Contract from Below and Betrayal. Betrayal, it's okay if you don't have to pay for it, but if you do have to pay for it, then in most cases it's not worth it. Contract from Below is pretty good. Means you get 2 items instead of 1 when you finish a room. Over time, that can really pay off, especially in the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and take it. This also ensures that I get more devil rooms in the future, since I didn't skip a devil deal. The moment you take a devil deal, you cannot get angel rooms ever again. There are rare exceptions to that rule, but either way, don't expect an angel room anymore once you take a deal.
Something's wrong.
Something wrong does pretty much nothing. Now, I'm actually going to take Death. I would like the Emperor, but I'm not really trying to speed through this run at the moment. It could help me kind of like the Fool, where if I run into a cursed room, clear it out, and then pop it, I will save myself a hit. But Death could save me even more, considering the caves level is one of the hardest areas in my opinion. I don't like this. It's exactly what I'm talking about. There was no space for me to go, and I made the right decision. This is why I blow up barrels when there's no enemies or rocks to blow up. The Burnt Penny gives you a 50% chance of a coin dropping. Let me try it again. A 50% chance of a bomb dropping when you grab a coin. The bombs are really going to add up. I like the Child's Leash and it gives me more control, but I only have 2 familiars right now if I don't use the Box of Friends. So I'm at the very least going to hang on to this Burnt Penny until the end of the level. That's pretty chaotic, and then in the end the terrain got me. I couldn't escape. I tried running south, but one of these pits got in my way. There we go. Contractor below gave me the 2 bombs. The guys in the wall are really dangerous when there's a lot of monsters, but they're pretty weak. They have a low amount of health. So you want to take them out pretty quick. When you see these enemies, they're extremely frustrating in a large amount. As you see, every time I go after him, he just spits out another blue charger. That's where bombs come in handy. If you're overwhelmed by all those guys, you may have to use a bomb in order to make some progress on that room. So I have 6 bombs. It's very likely the super secret room's here because it's almost always attached to the final room. I am sick of seeing this room. For reference, this was the first super secret room I found in this episode, but that room right here, it just keeps haunting me, keeps coming back. Before I go and fight the boss, I'm going to press onward and see if I can get the treasure room first. That way I'll be a little more prepared. Well, this is an interesting room. Take your time, just wait for the spikes to undeploy. Don't be a hero. This layout right here, try to remember it, because the layout of this specific room, it has a tendency to be attached to the secret room. If I were to be involved with Curse of the Lost and not being able to see the map, I'd bomb at the north. It's almost always a secret room. I am missing my shots a lot, but I'm focusing on keeping myself away. It may take a little bit longer, but it ensures that I don't get hit. No surprise. Now I have a decision to make. Samson's locks are pretty good. The way it works is whenever you kill an enemy, there is a small chance that it's going to give you a damage boost for the rest of the room. That could be very helpful for rooms where monsters are constantly summoning other monsters, especially bosses. I know it's only a soul heart, but I don't really have that much health. Rather, it's a half a soul heart. So I'm going to go ahead and take a trade my bomb for it. This is where Demon Baby can be a hindrance again. he continually attacks while I'm trying to run away. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and not mess around here and just use the box of friends since I lack control of my destiny. Well, this looks familiar, but at least this room has a lot more room to maneuver. Let's see if we get Samson's locks to trigger. We'll know because on the left side where the damage is, you'll see that number increase. So far, no dice. Well, I don't know what the odds are of that, but I feel like I should have got at least 1 damage up from killing all those monsters. Well, that's cool. So this is the punching bag. I'm actually going to wait until I have Box of Friends before I fight in the arena. Punching bag baits your enemies away from you. Instead of the monsters attacking you and throwing a bone in your face, the punching bag will taunt them and they'll attack the punching bag instead in a lot of scenarios. Okay, pop in the Box of Friends. There's the punching bag. And thanks to the Box of Friends, I should be making short work of this arena. Box of Friends has some great synergies. For example, the car battery lets you use your activatable item twice. That's a whole lot of familiars. Now the question is, will the Box of Friends also duplicate the punching bag? I think he will. There's an item that's called the Sacrificial Altar, and it sacrifices up to 2 familiars. And I'm pretty sure the Scapegoat can be consumed by it. So that's why I believe the Scapegoat is going to be doubled when I use the Box of Friends. And I'm not doing so hot. And this is just a mess. There's very little advice I can give you in a scenario like that, other than just to keep moving. Because it's almost like a bullet hell of monsters. That's a lot of batteries. I'm just to see what happens with punching bag. I was right, there's 2. I could use a battery and get 3 and then 4, but once you walk out of the room, you've lost that effect. So I don't want to waste all the batteries. Finally, I've reached the treasure room. Very rarely when you go into a treasure room, you're presented with 2 options instead of 1 option. Now usually when you're presented with 2 options, if you grab one of these items, the other one goes away. In very rare circumstances, you can actually take both of them. Now it's very clear to me at least which one's better. This is pause and this is the mind. The mind is really awesome. It reveals everything about the map, everything. Super secret room, the secret room. It shows me what the empty rooms or out of the rooms I haven't explored are. I know one's a sacrifice room, one's a library. The library is what I want. The issue though is I'm starting to get low on keys. So now I have yet another choice to make. That's what Isaac's all about, and that's part of the reason why I've made this series in the first place. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. Option 1. Very carefully and slowly go through these spikes. Grab the key. Very closely get out of the spikes. Option 2. Blow up the key with the bomb and grab it. Now the risk of option 2 is I could drop a bomb here, but it could bounce off the wall and then bounce back where it is again, thus negating that option. So I gotta be very careful how I do this. What I'm thinking of doing is placing a bomb here. That way it ricochets off the wall to the side and then goes south beyond the spikes without bouncing off the other wall. I could try risking going through the spikes, but that's the thing, it's a risk, and I have 2 dark hearts and 1 full heart. That's not enough. I'm not going to risk it, and I should be getting extra bombs because of that trinket. Speaking of the trinket, I forgot I let go of it. The one that you pick up a coin and gain bombs. That was a mistake, but here we go. Let's see if I can put my money where my mouth is. It did exactly as I had hoped. I got the key. I did trade a bomb for it, but now I feel a lot more comfortable knowing I didn't have to try going through those spikes. I have another option here. I definitely want to go to the library because reason number 1 is maybe the Bible's there. That way I can take it and remove it from all the item pools. If you grab it, even if you don't keep it, the Bible will no longer drop from any of the other rooms since I picked up the rosary earlier. But also, if you collect 3 books, you get the bookworm transformation, which gives you a chance to double your tears when you attack. Now remember the extra batteries I left behind? There's a reason why I didn't want to waste them. It's because of things like this. This is the Satanic Bible. You use it and it gives you a dark heart. One of the best items in the game. And it's going to help save me from this run. Because I still trust in my abilities enough to where I'd probably still be okay without it. But now that I have it, it's just going to make it that much easier. So now I'm in really good shape. So far Samson's locks has been very underwhelming. I haven't really been lucky and it hasn't really helped me much. I'm wondering where I left the other trinket. Oh, I see, I left it in the secret room. Well, I'm going to hang on to Samson's locks just for the moment, because I am going to be fighting a boss. By the way, this is the Necronomicon. It's good too. It deals damage to everyone that's in the room. It's the equivalent of the death card. I'd still rather use the box of friends. Death is good for a short burst of damage against weaker enemies. Not quite so much against bosses. Here we go. This is Bighorn. He's one of the newer bosses. He's pretty hard because he takes a lot of hits. He also throws a ton of bombs, some of them super troll bombs, but he always has a pattern. He throws the bombs and he spits, he throws the bombs and spits. You can attack his hands, but he doesn't stay out very long. So I'm going to use the box of friends. When he spits out those homing missiles there, try to destroy them as fast as you can. If you're too slow, there could be a possibility he'll spit out more on the field. Also watch out for the fire bombs. You see how they leave behind the fire? If I touch that, it's going to hurt. Be careful when standing in front of him like that. Especially when you know he's going to spit out those balls out of his mouth. Now there's a trick that a lot of people know about where you can throw a bomb into his mouth during that process where he's about to attack you with the homing missiles. But it doesn't do that much damage and it's not usually worth a bomb, and you have to have very good timing in order to pull it off. So I only do that if I have excess bombs or if I'm really in a dire situation. These are the divorce papers. They give you a bone heart, give you a tears up, and the mysterious paper, which gives you a 50% chance of either triggering the Polaroid or the negative effect. But that only applies if you have half a heart. I know there's a lot of conditions there. That's why it's not that great of a trinket. It's good if you have no hearts though. Let's see what these pills are. Hematemesis. Drops some hearts on the floor. It also gets rid of your own hearts. But for now, I'm going to just... It doesn't take anything away from the bone hearts that are empty. So I just pretty much got free hearts from that. I still have money to buy items in the shop, but I only have one key, and as I've said in the past, it's good to keep one key before you leave the level. I want to shop, but it just wasn't meant to be. Now I have to make a choice. Do I want to keep bombs, or do I want the child's leash? I mentioned that the child's leash is a very good trinket with Lilith, and it's true. But bombs are really helpful too. I mean, after all, now I have the mind, I can see the entire map at all times. I will always know where the secret rooms are. Therefore, I'm going to need bombs. So I'm going to keep that. And before I go, there's a tinted rock here. Gotta keep your eyes peeled. I wonder how many tinted rocks I've missed during these 10 episodes. And just like that, Curse of the Lost, the mind is now useless. Meet Envy. Envy is one of the most annoying bosses of the 7 deadly sins. Now I recommend normally just focusing on one head at a time. Otherwise you get a ton of them out at the same time and it makes things difficult. But I'm doing pretty well. There's also explosives here to help me out. But especially if it's Super Envy, who will spit out 3 heads and it takes a freaking eternity to kill him. In that scenario, just take your time, focus one head at a time. That's the safest option. Especially early game. It is very possible on the very first room you walk into when you start, it could be Super Envy. And it'll probably take you like 2 minutes to kill him. So right when I walked in this room, the very first thing I noticed, obviously, was the guys that wanted to charge at me. But secondly, the terrain wasn't in my favor. It's got these long lines. It makes it difficult for me to get out of the way. So I made sure to clear space immediately. And the punching bag helped. He really helped clear out some space for me by baiting them away. Okay, I've been waiting for an arcade. It's finally here. So now, if we're lucky, if I hurt myself enough, I'm going to be able to spawn another familiar. This is the bomb beggar. He's very rare. You give him bombs, and he gives you bombs back, ironically. But eventually, if you give him enough bombs, he'll give you a bomb treasure item. He's risky, though, because he usually drops troll bombs, and you got to push them out of the way before he blows himself up. Devil Beggar, I get to take advantage of the Bone Heart. The Bone Heart is technically 3 hits. Now there's a certain order of priority. You would think that if I stab myself again by going to the Devil Beggar that I lose the Bone Heart. But no, once you reach an empty Bone Heart, it goes to the next heart. Now here's where Hematemesis comes in handy. I have no health. If I pop it, I have no health to lose. I gain a half heart out of the deal. And I grab this and fill up the Bone Heart. So now I'm going to do it again. Make sure you hug him closely. That way you can get 2 stabs at a time, but only costs half a heart. This is one of my favorite Devil Room type items. Devil Beggar has it also. Has an aura around him. The aura deals constant damage. If you're in the aura, you deal bonus damage. He's also very helpful for reaching enemies that are hard to get to. I'll be back for the Bomb Beggar later once I actually have some bombs. Now you may be wondering, why am I holding on to the Tears Down pill? That's only going to hinder me. The answer to that is if I find either PhD or Virgo, that makes negative pills into positive pills. Therefore, this Tears Down is going to turn into a Tears Up. It's unlikely, because after all, there's hundreds of items, and those are just 2 off the top of my head that can make the pills friendly. But if you anticipate this ahead of time, it pays off sometimes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stab myself, and look at that. Little Brimstone. I was really hoping to get him. He's arguably the best familiar you can get with Lilith. Second being, I would say, the Dark Bum, since he helps sustain you. Alright, let's ruin people's days. When Peep jumps really high, run. Just run to the opposite side. Now, I don't know what happened there. He just jumped straight up. He didn't even go after me. It was kind of weird. I guess I was kind of expecting it to be like Monstro. I know I've killed the Peep hundreds of times, but there's a lot to remember in this game. And it's easy to have a lapse of judgment. So he just does that. Just either way, get out of the way, but you don't have to necessarily cross him. Okay, I got some bombs. I'm still going to wait a little bit longer. I want some more before I try the bomb beggar. He does require quite a bit in order to pay out. Now you see here, I'm trying to bait the last familiar over to them, so that way he can use the brimstone. But it requires quite a bit of movement to move him around. This is where the child leech would come in handy, but I had to make a choice. And my choice was to grab the trinket that I'm using right now instead. The chariot's good because you can use it and damage your foes. Doesn't work that well against bosses, but it's good to get yourself out of a pinch. I don't know if that's the right expression or not, but either way, I use this for the blood donation machines very often. Bear in mind that that does not contribute towards the Cambion conception. You have to get hurt for that. Now, by taking the coins with this trinket, there's a risk of a troll bomb dropping, and if that happens, it could blow up the blood donation machine. So you gotta anticipate that and prepare to push it away, or grab the coins later, when you know you're done donating. It's hard to reach these portals because of all the rocks, so I'm better off just using the brimstone baby for that. And my punching bag's doing a great job. That made the fight a lot easier. Part of me still wishes I also took the Satanic Bible, but around the beginning of this episode I said I wanted a more normal Lilith run, so that's kind of where we're at right now. The interesting thing, I haven't found a single damage up, not counting the succubus when you're inside Azara. But either way, little brimstone is doing the brunt of the damage here. More hematemesis, that's great, because I can use this for the blood donation machine. So I'm going to go ahead and head back. Well, before doing that actually, maybe there'll be an HP up in the treasure room. That'll save me a trip. No, but this is great. I complained about not having enough damage ups, and there's a damage up. Simple as that. Thank you, Blood of the Martyr. Here we are. Now, hematemesis can also give you more than one heart. I've just been unlucky. Okay, this is too suspicious. So I'm pretty sure there's a secret room there. The first red flag was this. You see how the path kind of goes its own way, and there's pits next to it. Let's try it. Mission failed. Okay, one more. Oh right, I could take this heart as well. Yeah, I wish I had one more HP up though. That way I wouldn't waste half of these hearts. Since if you have a half a heart, you pick up a full heart, you could have used a full heart if you had more.
Hematemesis.
Just like that. 3 hearts this time. No go. I'm gonna pick these up very carefully. This is good though, the bombs are adding up, and I might be able to get the bomb beggar to pay out. So by spending bombs, I'll probably get them back, and I'll get some money out of the deal. So this is worth it to me. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can make 2 bridges, or you can bomb the center of the rock. And just like that, got my bombs back. Now I'm getting a lot of money, but the more money you have when you enter the shop, the more likely you're going to run into greed. That was pretty dangerous. I didn't have much room to run, and there's red creep everywhere. That's another scenario where it doesn't matter how much information I give you. You just have to keep playing and get better. Yera. One of my favorite rooms since it doubles every item in the room. Does not count for treasure type items. I'm most likely going to save it when I see an assortment of soul hearts. Now I still haven't found the shop. I'm going to do that before I face the boss. That was kind of foolish of me to walk in between the punching bag and those bones there. But I was having a hard time trying to get my little brimstone familiar to get in line. Okay, good. There is no greed here. One thing that's pretty cool is you could even use your Yera rune to duplicate the shop items. However, it's not going to duplicate this or this. So the question is, do I want to use that for 1 soul heart? I probably could do better. I'm going to hold off. I will buy this, however, because I have too much money and not very many keys. Every key door is now replaced by a coin door, so it'll cost me 1 coin to go into a door instead of a key. That means I could save my keys for treasure chests. This is Mom's bottle of pills. It replaces my spacebar item or my activatable item, so forget that. I can also use bombs to blow up the shopkeeper and gain a little more devil deal chance, while simultaneously re-rolling with this machine by bombing it. You can place coins to do it too, but you want to make your bombs count. That's why I try to make sure I perform 2 actions with 1 bomb if I'm able to. Now, if this is good, I can use Yera on it. It's not good. And this is the mystery gift. When you use it, you might get a lump of coal or a piece of poop, or it might spawn a treasure item that matches the same pool of the room that you're in. So if I use it now and I don't get the poop or the lump of coal, I'll get a shop item. If I use it in a devil room and I don't get the lump of coal or poop, I'll get a devil deal item without having to spend the hearts for it. So it's very much worth it. Okay, and lastly, taking Mom's key. When I open chests, I get a lot more items. Okay, I am now going to... Well, I don't have enough money now, so I'm going to give the bomb beggar a shot. Okay, well, if I pick up the IV bag, that ensures that any future blood donation machines will not drop it. Because once you pick up a activatable item, it's removed from the game. The exception is if a mini boss drops it. Some mini bosses are guaranteed to drop certain activatable items, even when it's removed from the pool. Here we go. I gotta make sure I keep attacking to push any bombs that may appear. Exhibit A. Yeah, you see how often he pays out with bombs? Or just gives you bombs, rather? That's why it's so dangerous and hard to keep him alive. Gotta keep attacking. This is great. I got him to pay out, got scatter bombs. And I also plan... I don't have any more money, so I'm gonna bomb him. That was a little disappointing. What I could have also done is use the Yellow rune and doubled all the bombs. That would have kept me in very good shape. But I think I have enough bombs. But let's just get one more. It's hard to find good opportunities to use the Ace of Clubs. It replaces all items with bombs. But the thing is, it's like, do you want a bunch of money or do you want even more bombs? In my case, I pretty much want money more. But 1 coin for 1 bomb, I can make that trade. I am keeping, for now, the mystery gift. This means I'm going to have to fight the boss without my box of friends. But it also means that if there's a devil deal, I can probably spawn one. Gertie isn't so bad, so that'll be alright. What's cool is the demon baby's in range. So he's kind of on a timer. You see how he does an attack like a couple seconds? So you can anticipate that and just keep moving to the sides. Although I guess Gertie is a female. Dad's Lost Coin gives you a range up and then it drops you a lucky coin. When you hear that laugh, start moving. That hand can take you right out of the devil room and you won't even get a chance to do the deal. Now, Guppy's head, normally a very fantastic item. Because one, it takes you 1/3 of the way to a Guppy transformation, which makes you obscenely powerful. Also, it's just a great item. Now, the issue, though, is I'll lose my box of friends, which I'm depending on to slay the bosses. So, and I only have one heart. That's it. I don't have that much. I could just take it just for getting towards a transformation, but I generally only do that if I have extra health to spare, which I don't. So I'm just going to move on and use the mystery gift. Okay. This would have been a devil deal, but thanks to good old Rosary, it's instead the Bible. So now the Bible's been removed from all item pools. Now I won't worry about seeing it in the future. I just really wish I didn't waste a devil room type item for that. Now you also notice that I gained the bookworm for taking the Bible. The Bible does a couple things. One, it gives you flight. And two, if you use it on Mom or Mom's heart or it lives, kills her in 1 hit. That's pretty cool, but usually by the time you reach that point, you found a better activatable item overall. It's good if you're just starting and you want an easy win. Now, I don't remember how to unlock very many things because I've had them for so long, but one thing I do remember is by killing Mom with the Bible, you get the halo. It's a very good item. If I wanted to spend more time, oh, I thought that was a hematemesis pill. I could have just popped that, ran to the IV bag, and stabbed myself a couple times, but let's move on. We've overstayed our welcome. What is up with this? I got the Mind, and I got 2 Curses of the Lost in a row. What a disappointment. Now you may notice the Box of Friend also duplicates the Incubus. That makes it really powerful. Before I tackle this, I want to make sure I have my Box of Friends charged. But thanks to Mom's key, if I open those chests, it's very likely to get me a lot of items. Say hello to Ultra Pride. You usually don't see that variation. Usually he has a little buddy with him. But sometimes you get 2 of the bigger ones. Alright, I got a gold bomb. That's really good. By the way, the left hand causes all chests to turn into red chests. This also means if I go to the arena, those golden chests will turn into red chests. I'd rather not. I want to capitalize on Mom's key, which makes items drop more often in larger quantity from gold chests and regular chests. So I'm leaving that alone. The Locust of Pestilence, it gives you a fly. Now, it's hard to remember the colors, but some of these fly-type trinkets, they'll blow up in your face. It's hard to remember. In fact, I'm not completely sure, because I know Pestilence, the boss, blows up, but the fly, I don't think blows up. So I think it's just pure damage. But even so, I still want the bombs. At least for now. But I do have golden bombs, so now I can... I gotta be careful. But now I can go ahead and bomb and try to find secret rooms. Come to think of it, I'm starting to change my mind here. Because if indeed the Locust of Pestilence does not blow up in my face and risk me, that's more damage. And I got 20 bombs now. I don't know if you saw that, but I got cornered and had to push the bomb away. I guess you can call it bomb awareness. Always be aware of the bombs. Liberty Cap gives you a random effect whenever you walk into rooms. Random mushroom effect. I'm actually going to go ahead and go back for the Locust of Pestilence. I have a change of heart. With the gold bomb, there's no reason for me not to bomb these skulls. They can drop cards and dark hearts, or sometimes they even spawn an enemy. Okay, and it's confirmed the Locust of Pestilence does not blow up. It's just so hard to remember since Pestilence, the boss, blows up all the time. I'll do this. I'll spend a key, and the bomb doesn't count since I have a golden bomb. Let's see what I get. Money. You could get a counterfeit trinket as well, or counterfeit penny. And that gives you a 50% chance of gaining an extra coin when you pick a coin up. Now, since I have golden bombs, I can also be a little more reckless on dropping bombs against enemies. But with scatter bombs, I could blow myself up if I'm not careful. And of course, the blue flames have a chance to drop a soul heart if you bomb them. If you ever see multiple blue flames, try to blow up more than one at a time. That way you save your bombs and destroy two instead of one. I still haven't found anything worthy enough to use the Yetta rune on. I'm still banking on some bonus soul hearts. Okay, now we're talking. When you see this room, run away. And now that you have the information and know what room's coming up, attack the flame in front of you, get out. Repeat the process, since those orange flames will continue to shoot bullets at you. Now I accidentally blew up one of those barrels. I want to save at least one, that way I can push these stone chests and save a bomb. Now I could have just used a golden bomb since I have infinite bombs right now, but that's just for demonstrative purposes. And I decided to use that same technique I described earlier to run away from my own bomb. I always check when I'm on the depths to make sure I'm not on level 2. Because if you're on level 2, that means it's a guaranteed mom boss fight, and you won't be able to go back. Sisters Vis. Pop in the box of friends. Oh, that wasn't good. Do not stay in between them, otherwise they will obliterate you. Oh no, she's enraged. Doesn't matter. This is marrow. Oh, by the way, I didn't even realize it, but I lost my bone heart from before. But anyway, bone marrow just gives you a quote HP up, as in a bone heart, and drops a bunch of hearts. It's not that great. In fact, I have all these hearts here, but I have nothing to use it on. Kind of hope I could find another blood donation machine. Now, first thing I did was I ran away, because I saw that worm in the middle, and he charges so fast. You gotta watch out for that. I'm still scared of that other worm, though, because it does double damage since it's much larger. By the way, I also didn't mention, I said that for the Cambion Conception, arguably the Little Brimstone's the best familiar you can get from it. But I could even get another Incubus or another Succubus. So Lilith can be very powerful, but there is an element of luck involved. I also want to focus down this champion specifically with a skull above its head. When it dies, it creates the death effect. First there was the mind. Then there was the soul. The soul is a fantastic item. The thing about the mind and the soul, though, is it requires you to unlock items using the Lost, if I recall correctly, which is, in my opinion, the hardest character to deal with. So you might not even have it unless you've done that. But anyway, the soul gives you 2 soul hearts, and it gives you a shield, so if tears shoot you, sometimes they get pushed away, like a reverse magnet. Although, to be fair, magnets are able to repel or attract, so I guess I could just say it's like a magnet. So you remember I mentioned the power of Lilith with the car battery? This is it. So now my already great run has just become better. Now I'm trying to be careful with these bombs. I want to blow up the shopkeeper, but I don't want to blow up the donation machine. It gives you coins, but it takes away coins from the box. I don't want to do that. Did you see that? You see how the tears are bouncing off? Now, I did have to walk away from that last hit because he fired it really quickly. Some shots do go through. But boy, does it help. Curse of the Blind. Well, at least I can see the map. And look, there's yet another library. Been kind of lucky this round. And this is Gluttony. And this is Gluttony no more. Now what's kind of nice about Pestilence is, in this case, even if I hit this enemy in the front, it'll still poison him. Now I have a... Well, let me explore the library first, then I'll talk about the curse room. Alright, that's enough, hosts. So this is all Curse the Blind, but I already know ahead of time these are books, since we are in a library after all. I have no advantage towards the bookworm transformation because I'm already a bookworm. Book of Revelations increases your Devil Deal chance, and just like the Satanic Bible, it allows you to generate soul hearts. Although the Satanic Bible does dark hearts, Book of Revelations does soul hearts. Book of Shadows gives you temporary invincibility. Book of the Dead is one of the newer items. It resurrects corpse into bones that help defend you either as an orbital or as a friend. So sometimes they spawn bonies from the ground. With the car battery in Book of Revelations, pretty much means I'm immortal. Because I'll get 2 soul hearts every time it's fully charged. But I'm sticking with the theme here. Technically, I think it would be better if I took the Book of Revelations. It means I wouldn't deal as much damage to certain bosses, but it also means that I can ensure that I'd stay safe. But I'm going to take the Box of Friends anyway, because I wanted to do a Lilith run, and this is my opportunity to actually show what Lilith is made of. Alright, so there's a secret room there. I don't need to go to the curse room, I can just bomb my way in there. Now, it's kind of hard to figure out where to bomb sometimes. There's 2 ways to figure it out, because you know it's to the left, you just don't know where on the wall to bomb. So option 1, go on the other side. There's a door adjacent to it. So if you follow it, you know it's right here. Option 2, if there's no markers like that to help identify where it is, if you slowly move, wait until the camera starts moving, right now. See how the camera's moving? But if I keep going, it stops moving. You want to do that up, actually, because the treasure room's on the left side. So up and down. So I did that the wrong way. So in this case, start moving up until the camera moves, right now. Do I use the Yera? Why not? I've been hoarding it for too long anyway. And then I'm going to bomb this, that way I can get to the curse room without hurting myself. I was kind of hoping that was another Yera rune, but wasn't meant to be. Don't be a hero if you see those guys. You can try to kill them, but don't stand in line of sight. You can try to curve your bullets or wait until they finish their brimstone. And here I am blowing up skulls, but I don't have golden bombs anymore. So I gotta make sure I'm a little conservative on that. Let's take a dive into the unknown. Well, I can't complain about that. Mom's knife, one of the best items in the game. That's kind of weird with the Incubus, though, since the knife's a lot smaller. That's alright. Mom's knife is mom's knife. And look at that. I now have 2 succubus, which I guess would be succubi. Not completely sure. English is weird. Now all I need is a dark bum, and the circle of being overpowered will be complete. Also notice how, thanks to the bookworm, I throw 2 knives every so often. Makes it very useful. And you can decide if you want to melee your opponent with the knife or attack. With Lilith, I don't have to risk as much when I do melee range, because while I'm on the side, I'm not right in front of the enemy. The knife might be, but I can still stay away while my Incubus safely hits the enemy. Mystery item on sale. I don't want to get it because it could be the bag of pills. Replaces all cards with pills, and that's terrible. There's so many good cards, it's not worth it. Okay, now we're talking. I'm not going to grab it quite yet, though, in case there's a devil beggar that steals your hearts. They prioritize the eternal heart first, so I grabbed that at the end of the level. The red hosts are pretty weak, but they have a huge tier spread. And the regular hosts, as you know, they're just a pain in the butt. Alright, I can't proceed on. If I go on, then I won't be able to come back because of the mom fight. So I'm going to finish my unfinished business here and go grab that eternal heart. Anything else in here? There is a mystery card, and there's no more shops after the depths too. So I'll try it. High Priestess stomps the floor. It one-shots most enemies, I would say. It hurts a lot of bosses. A lot. Doesn't work on the mom fight though. She just sends another foot, and the foot crushes you instead. Hagalaz, I could just use that on the skulls coming up, because Hagalaz destroys all destructible items, or debris rather. That's alright though. Look at all this health I have. Everything's fine. Pop the box of friends, and this is a mess. That's the power of the car battery. This is great because, although I cannot see what this is, I know it's, since it's 2 hearts, that means it's a very good devil deal item. I know it's not the Satanic Bible, because I already removed that from the item pool by picking that up in the library. It could be the nail. That counts as 2. I'm hoping it's not. The short version is I don't want a spacebar item, but 2 heart items are usually very good. And I only have 1 heart. Bone hearts do not count towards devil deals. So I'm taking it. Death's Touch. Normally what this do is it turn your tears into scythes. Give you piercing tears, bonus damage, and a slight tears down. But with Mom's knife, it just gives me extra damage. This is a very successful run, and for those of you who've been watching, if I have a successful run, but I'm not fighting the boss rush or going for Mega Satan, I always take the negative. In turn, though, that usually means that when I fight the lamb in the dark room, that he usually dies pretty quick. Maybe at some point I'll go ahead and tackle the dark room when I'm not that strong. That way I can show you additional strategies on the lamb. But until then, we're going to continue wrecking the lamb. I don't want to risk... Well, normally I wouldn't want to risk using a mystery pill till the end because I might get amnesia. But the boss is right there.
One makes you small.
Alright, I'm back to normal. I had the larger pill, now I got the smaller. This is Isaac's head. It spawns a trinket familiar. Now, just for the sake of science, if I use the box of friends, does it double Isaac's head? The answer is no. What do we have here? Dagaz cures your curse, gives you 1 soul heart. Might grab it after the boss. I'm going the wrong way just so I can get the super secret room, see what's in there, since it's right here. Pills here. Sure, let's give it a shot. Oh. I was afraid it was going to teleport me really far away and I'd have to clear half this level. So the question is, I gotta be careful. If I run into those poops, they get destroyed because I need them. I need to form a bridge with a bomb. There, now I can cross. Death. I have a lot of bombs. I'm gonna bomb this dresser. It'll drop pills, and maybe there's a good pill. Perks is a good pill. Only lasts 1 room though. If you take a full heart of damage, instead you'll take a half heart. It's very helpful. In fact, in my last run, it saved my life. Now, I already forgot what card I had before. There's the Dagaz. Oh yes, the High Priestess. That's what I want to go back for. Now, if I had the perks, I could have also gone to the sacrifice room and capitalized on it. That means I could have gotten a free angel item potentially. Potentially a trip to the devil room. And if I really wanted to commit, I could even get a Mega Satan key and go fight Mega Satan. For more information on the sacrifice room, I'd look it up online because there's a lot of mechanics. And I'll save that for another video when I actually want to utilize it. Mr. Fred. I'm not sure what happened. He should have got crushed. No matter. I will just brimstone him. It's kind of hard to reach him with the mom's knives right now because there's that red creep there does damage if you walk into it. So I'll just slowly whittle him down. Okay, this is good. Well, it would be good if I really needed tears. I guess it still helps to a certain extent, so let me explain. That gave me a tears up. And tears up is great if you have tears. If you have mom's knife, all it does is it allows you to throw out the knife sooner. So you don't have to charge it up as long. But really, at this point, I could get a bunch of crappy items. Everything would still be fine. Right, I'm looking for the Dagaz. Once I hit the dark room, if it's Curse of the Blind, there's a lot of treasure rooms in the dark room. Or treasure items, rather. So I want to make sure I save that and expect the worst. There is an arcade there, but the issue though is it now costs a full heart in order to use a donation machine. So I don't know if it's worth it. We'll see what's in there though. I'm passing it anyway. I could use the Dagoz to cure the darkness, but it's only an inconvenience for the most part. Suspicious of this. Make sure it's not a, I don't think it's a tinted rock. I'm just going to blow it up just in case, though. Alright, I didn't think so. But when you got 26 bombs, you can throw down a few. It's fine. Here it is. Here's the blood donation machine. I could stab myself, and that's it. That was fun. Well, I could just do this. Now I don't know if you noticed that, but the interactions with bone hearts are a little bit different. They have a different set of rules. You would think if I grabbed this half heart and stabbed myself, I'd lose the half heart and then another half heart. So one from the bone heart, one for the regular heart. But it just empties it out. That's a little advantage to it. I personally don't like bone hearts though unless I'm having a bad run, since sometimes you're just stuck with them. Now there's a very annoying glitch with Lilith that has been around forever. If you leave the game and you come back, the order of your familiars is not always the same. This means that your incubus, who's in the front, might suddenly be in the back. That's just going to make it even harder for me to aim Mom's knife. If you can help it, don't quit. If you plan on being gone for like 5 minutes or something, just leave the game paused. But either way, you've been warned. And I'm circling the perimeter just to confirm if there's any tinted rocks. There's also another sacrifice room here to tempt me, but I won't be baited. I'm hoping for a blood bag though, and each time I damage myself, I'm one step closer to the next familiar. The familiar amount caps either at 4 or 5. I'm not sure which one. But that takes a lot of damage in order to achieve that. Okay, I will replace my locust with the curved horns. One of my favorite trinkets. Just gives you solid 2 damage. I'm going to start blowing these up. They have a slight chance of dropping the placenta, which is an HP up. And I can always use an HP up. Almost. You can use these rocks as cover when you're fighting Reed if you have spectral tears, or in my case, Mom's knife. And he opened up a little shortcut for me. When you fight a mini boss in the special, or in the secret room rather, all the paths get open after the fight. Okay, there's a super secret room. Remember what I mentioned about the camera? I could follow this and just use that and make sure it's adjacent, and then I'll know it's there. But I can also just walk until the camera moves. Right when it moves, drop the bomb. Okay, I do have some money, and I'm missing 2 slots where soul hearts are. So why not? I may as well use up my money. I'm stopping for a moment. This could be a 2 of diamonds. It'd be bad if I had gambled all my money, then picked this up, and then it turns out to be a 2 of diamonds and you double 0, which is just 0. Now normally the 2 of diamonds doubles your coins. However, if you have 0 coins, the rules change. It actually just gives you 2 coins. Same thing with the other types of cards. For example, the 2 of spades or the 2 of clubs. If you have 0 keys or 0 bombs, it'll instead give you 2. So it's not a complete waste. But it may as well be a waste for the 2 of diamonds, because just getting 2 coins is nothing. But nope, it's an ace of diamonds. Places all items with 1 coin. There is a chance, though, it could be a nickel or a dime if you're super lucky. Okay, I'm done. I could keep gambling, try to get a better trinket. But I'm very happy with the curved horn. So I'm going to proceed on. It lives. More like it dies. That's why these videos are a little more informational as opposed to hilarious. Alright, let me explain. There's a very rare chance that the portal to the void may appear, starting with Mom. Each time you reach the next mega boss, the odds of this portal appearing increases even further. It has appeared. I can choose to go to Delirium right now if I want to. It's tempting, I gotta say. Now the portal's gonna wait for me though, so I may as well go through the devil deal and then make my decision. Hello, Krampus. Goodbye, Krampus. I'm going to grab that Dark Heart since it damages all foes when it's removed. It'll be better than a Soul Heart. Now comes the age-old question. Do I risk it and fight Delirium now? Or do I move on and ensure my victory? You know how I like to take risks. Let's do it. It's obviously safer to go for the lamb, but I have full hearts. I also have the soul, which can deflect bullets, and I have the car battery, which is going to give me a lot of familiars. So it's still going to be a little bit tough. Hopefully I don't regret it, especially since my run speed is low. But here we go. Okay, I don't like this darkness anymore, but I'm going to save the day gods when I need a soul heart. Alright, let's look at this map. We're going to investigate this for a moment. The way Delirium spawns is his boss room is always 4 squares long and wide. One of these has to fit Delirium. You know it's not Delirium if he can't fit there. So the question is, where is he? My guess is he's at the very bottom left. That's the most likely candidate where he is. That's plenty of room to fit 4 squares where the boss is attached. So he could also be in the upper right. You can kind of somewhat predict what has a higher chance of Delirium. Sometimes you don't always know for sure though. The reason why it's important to know where Delirium is two things. One, sometimes it's best to avoid him. You want to grab all the treasure room items from the bosses first. That might be the better option. 2, maybe you don't care. Maybe you just want to head straight for the boss while you have max health and obliterate him while you know you have the advantage. Now what's great here is I don't have to guess. If I screw up and fight Delirium early, I can now use the Fool. That'll take me back to the start, and then I won't make the same mistake twice. So just for the sake, I'm going to use this because this room's kind of dangerous. For the sake of seeing if I'm right or not, I'm going to head straight for where I think Delirium is. Ooh, that's nasty. He had camouflage while he was jumping up and down. And during Curse of Darkness. That's a little bit scary. I'm going to save that rainbow poop there. Most likely I'm not going to use it, since after all I only have 2 containers that can possibly have hearts. But almost out of courtesy I save it, because sometimes I think I don't need something and then I have a horrible time, and guess what? That one thing saves my life. I'm right. Delirium is here. I'm out of here. So now that I know where Delirium is, I can go ahead and explore the rest of the floor, not have to worry about bumping into him and having him ruin everything. But I still think if I were to fight him right now, especially since I have Mom's Knife, I'm pretty confident I win. But I also want to solidify my victory, because this is a little bit early to be fighting Delirium. Now technically, the better option there, instead of popping Dagaz immediately after getting hurt, is saving it for Delirium actually, if I can't find a good card. That way, instead of having 12 heart containers, if I keep a Dagaz with me, it's technically 13 since it gives you an extra soul heart. Now one thing I'm doing wrong is, sometimes I could choose to hold still and let the soul block the shots. If you run around like a maniac, the soul can't really reflect the bullets very well. So sometimes I need to just chill. But the other thing is, you can't 100% rely on the soul either. You gotta choose your battles. This is Death. One of the horsemen. And that's it. By the way, Death would usually spawn, would either drop the cube of meat or the ball of bandages, but this does not apply when you're in the void. And Sad Bombs makes your bombs blow up and shoot your tears. In my case, it does knives. Pretty helpful with scatter bombs. Speaking of horsemen, here's the Headless Horseman. I am now 1/3 of the way to turning into Guppy. Guppy's collar, when you die, you have a 50% chance of resurrecting. But you only resurrect, I think, with a half a heart. Or depending on what character you are, you might resurrect with half a soul heart. Either way, if Guppy ends up resurrecting you, you're probably not going to have enough health from that point on to live. Not always the case, but that kind of describes how your run's going, which is not good. I wonder if the trap was hurting him. It almost looked like that. Okay, so I don't know if you just saw my damage here. If you're in between two succubus, you gain even more damage. That's pretty cool. There we go. Now I'm Mom. I got yet another knife. It'll be following me. And I'm wearing a lovely dress. Okay. Perks. Now that I have perks, let's face it. I have no more reason to go and try to harvest items. It's going to take me twice as many hits to die now with perks. Perks is a fantastic pill to have if you're fighting someone really difficult. One thing I haven't quite done yet is, in any of my episodes, fought Mega Satan. problem is these devil deals I've been getting, they've been pretty good overall. It's pretty hard to resist skipping it. And the devil rooms, in most scenarios, in my opinion, even though it costs a heart, the odds of getting good devil deals are higher than getting a good angel deal. Even on the times when I skip the devil room, I still end up getting the devil room anyway most of the time. So that's just how the cards played out. I'm sure I'll have a video coming up eventually of Mega Satan. It's naturally just going to happen. Round 2. Perks, box of friends. And now let's go ahead and take care of Delirium. Watch out for the green tears. They're explosions. Delirium's very hard to hit. He bounces around everywhere, especially when he's about to die. And as I've said in the past, he is certainly luck-based. If you don't have the right assortment of items, sometimes you just can't win. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter how skillful you are if your run is horrendous. And Mom's Foot, sometimes it crushes you and damages you before it even comes down. Another reason why there's definitely a lot of luck involved. You may also notice he is summoning versions of himself of bosses I fought during this run. Definitely capitalize on damaging him when he turns into his default form. That's when he's weakest and he stands still and there's a lot more space of him. There's a lot more of him to hit. Ah. Alright, well this fight's almost over. I'm starting to get a little careless, I'm noticing, since I know I have enough health to where if I chose to, I could just bombard him probably as hard as I can, and I'll probably still be fine. But it's good practice. Even if you've won, it's good to keep dodging. Sometime you're going to fight Delirium, you're going to realize, wow, I'm losing the fight, and you're going to have to give it your all. May as well keep practicing. And you don't even get to fight Delirium every time, because there's still luck involved with that too, trying to even reach him. So you may as well capitalize on it, keep fighting, keep trying your hardest. Never give up, never surrender. What a mess. That's the Delirium fight in a nutshell. I'm just going to summon a bunch of bombs at this point. I have 24 after all. I'm going to let my bombs finish the work here. Even with all that, though, Delirium is so quick. Well, this concludes episode 10. I had a much better run than my last one. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend checking out episode 9. It was quite a struggle. It was fun. And thanks for watching my videos. Hope you've subscribed. If you haven't, please subscribe. I'm going to be making more of these videos as time goes on. And if you learned something new, please hit the like button, or if you enjoyed it, I'd like you to hit the like button too. It helps. I'll see you guys on episode 11.